What's going on, everybody? This is Professor Crypto Banana, and if you're on the Fantom side, you probably heard of a project called TOMB.FINANCE, and if you haven't, you're probably going to hear a little bit more about it. So it's a little bit of a confusing thing to understand, to grasp, and when you watch videos, it's probably even more confusing. You go to the website, even more confusing. It's not intuitive. So my goal is to make a simple video to at least give the basic overview, and then if this is something that you like and you want to go in further, I'll provide all the links and you can go forward from there. So the way that I like to explain it is with diagrams. You know, I'm that visual learner, I got the glasses, so hey, I like to see what's going on. So hopefully this should make it simpler. But before we get started, I gotta let you know, hey, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just for education and entertainment purposes only. Keep in mind, I'm not a crypto expert, so I could be messing up on a lot of these details. In fact, I'm going to be wrong 20 times before Sunday. So I'm going to give you all the links so that you can do your own research and correct me if I'm wrong. And then keep in mind that crypto is risky. We good? We good. All right, so let's take a look. So we got three separate tokens here. We got TOMB, we got TSHARE, and TBOND. Now, if you're just getting in and you just want the basics, I wouldn't even really think about TBOND for the time being. Just keep in mind TOMB and TSHARE. Now, this is overwhelming, and don't worry, hopefully it gets a little bit easier, but stick with me here. We got TOMB, and think of it as just a token. Now, with TOMB, we want it to be above the price of Fantom, okay? So Fantom is the token on the Fantom blockchain, and we want TOMB to be above it. Sometimes it's not. We'll talk about the scenarios about that. But when it is above, then we got TSHARE, aka Mr. Printer. Brrr, he goes brr, right? And he creates more TOMB tokens. And then when the supply is a little bit too much on the TOMB side, that's where TBOND comes along, aka Mr. Garbage Collector. And then that's where he burns the TOMB and then hopefully gets that price back because of supply and demand, all that good stuff. So confused? Don't worry about it. We'll make it be a little bit more fun here. So we got scenario A. TOMB's price is higher than Fantom. Sweet. We got TOMB at $3 and it's higher than the Fantom price. Nice. So what happens? So you got TSHARE right here, right? So you got TSHARE, and what that does is it generates these TOMB. So let's say I'm holding on to the TSHARE. Boom. Look at how much TOMB I am collecting. It's generating, it's creating, so it's not a hard cap supply, it's just minting and printing out. And typically what happens is when there's more supply, when there's more supply and just like same level demand, less demand, then what happens? Price fluctuates, right? And then it probably gets to equilibrium. So that's the idea. So TSHARE's out here just printing out all these TOMB tokens, and woo-hoo-hoo, look at me, I'm collecting all of that. Now keep in mind, how can you get TSHARE? Well, you can buy it, or you can actually pair it up with TOMB and Fantom and give it as a liquidity provider token. Whoa, that just escalated really quickly. Let's go over that again. So what you can do is you can actually provide a TOMB token and Fantom, combine it as an LP token, and then you get TSHARE as a result. So if you're not really familiar with that, you're kind of confused, don't worry. Just know that you're giving up half and half TOMB, half Fantom, and then it creates TSHARES for you. Woohoo! But you can just shortcut it, get the TSHARE right here, and then you can stacked with them TOMB. All right, so natural question. What happens when the TOMB goes below the Fantom price? So for example, let's say it's $1.50 as opposed to $2.50. Now, disclaimer, keep in mind that things can change. Like even on the most recent announcement, they say like the peg is no longer going to be like maybe Fantom, is going to be like $2, whatever the case may be, but this is just to simplify it, okay? Oh, and also disclaimer, I am currently invested into TOMB, the TSHARES, etc., and then when I get my initial investment, I sell and I do different stuff, but I'm not a whale, so keep in mind that like I am probably biased because I'm in the project, so little thing. All right, scenario B, TOMB's price, and it's misspelled as R piece, for good measure. And let's see. So TOMB is lower. What happens? So TSHARE cut off. No more paper. No more burr. no more TOMB tokens. I can't stack that stuff. But I'm assuming that if I still do the LP tokens, where I give up half TOMB, half Fantom, I still get TSHARES. I think that's how it works. Double check for me. So keep that in mind. So yeah, price of TOMB went under Fantom. No more burr. So this is where TBOND comes along. So what I can do is, you remember how I was stacking all these TOMB tokens? Well, now that the price is under, I can actually turn them in, burn the TOMB token, so boop, boop, bye-bye. We talked about too much excess supply. Well, now it's way less. And I get what is known as T-bonds. So what are T-bonds? We got TSHARES, we got TOMB, and now you're introducing the T-bond system. What's going on? Well, this is just kind of like extra credit bonus. Because if you stack on these T-bonds, you can come back later on in scenario C, where the TOMB's price goes higher than Fantom again, right? Because we assume that TOMB price, let's say it hits $3. Well, guess what? I can now cash in these T-bonds that I had, and then I think they go away, they get burned, and then guess what? I get even more TOMB tokens than I had before. So it incentivizes you to turn in your TOMB, kind of like stay loyal, and then you get even more, as you can tell by the major flood here, right? So let's just go over some of the websites here so you get a little visual. So this is the website, a little description here, kind of talking about what I talked about here. You can stake your TOMB and your Fantom together, combine it as an LP, and then you get your TSHARE. Now keep in mind, I think for your TSHARE, they're locked in and there's only specific times and when you can unlock. I don't know what the TSHARE Fantom Spooky LP does. That's where you do your TSHARE and your Fantom for something. I don't know. So, but this gives up the visual of the TOMB, the TSHARE, the TBOND, and this is how I understand it. You can take a look at the documentation, which will be like over here, and try to figure it out and what they're hoping to accomplish. Cool. Now, what else can I say? Well, guess what? I'm going to go over to the right tab. We can see this is how the TOMB price has been fluctuating. I think Fantom right now is about $2, so, TOMB is above Fantom, so it's getting printed, supplied, all that good stuff. And let's see here. Let's take a look at TSHARES. All right. So this is how it looks. And the price has been going way up, so is it a good time to get in now, later? I don't know. Not financial advice. Just keep in mind that this is pump, but maybe a lot of the developments that are coming down can be very interesting. So you can always come here to TOMB.FINANCE and do your thing. You can go to Spooky Swap and interact with the site, but you can go to Spooky Swap or whatever decentralized exchange and buy your TOMB or your TSHARE, and you can actually head over to Grim Finance and Reaper Farm. Now, why would you want to do that? Right? Because we're talking about you can deposit it, you can do all your things here, but let's say you got to manually do it, or you got to manually compound and do all this. But the rates are really great. Just in general, if you go to Grim Finance and Reaper Farm, they probably take a little bit of a cut. However, the rates are still pretty great, and if you don't want to have to auto compound, there you go. And they got different strategies for you here. So in Grim Finance, what you can do is you can deposit your TOMB and your Fantom and does like a 60-40 thing where you get daily APR, which is insane when you do APR, APY. I've done other videos a little bit explaining that, but there's a difference between APR, APY. Think of APR as like your daily rewards, and then APY as if you're to auto compound your daily rewards. So then that number grows a ton. So what they do here is you get the rewards, and it probably deposits 60% into the TOMB Fantom. So right here, same thing. So you're just building up what you put in, and 40% goes to your TSHARE. Now keep in mind that there's a lock on it, so if you want to like all of a sudden get out, well, you're a little bit stuck. You gotta wait for this window of opportunity to get out. Now, Reaper Farm, they also have other stuff. So, for example, they have TOMB. I don't know if they have TSHARE. You know what? Let's take a peek. TSHARE. Oh, look at them. They got some TSHARE right here as well. So there you go. And what you can do, what's interesting, and this is a little alpha at the time being, I think they were hinting at doing an airdrop. So typically when you interact with, let's say, Reaper Farm, then when they come out with a token, you can benefit because you're interacting. So that's a little bonus. But, take your pick. I think both are great. In terms of the community side, I know that a lot of people, they swear by Reaper. They're like, man, the developers, they really trustworthy. They'll help out if there's any incident or any problems, even if it's for a different project on the Fantom side. They'll take a look at the code and try to help out. Especially if there was an exploit, they'll be the first one to say like, yo, we want to help out and really help out the community. So a lot of people in terms of reputation really like Reaper Farm. I also like Grim Finance because there's a lot of options here when it comes to that, such as the 60/40. So it's up to you. Take it as you will. There's no right or wrong. And then here are the links, or a lot of the videos. So Taiki, he does a really in-depth video. He just came out today, which is December 2nd, 2021. So you could be watching this 3 months from now and be like, no, you didn't. But anyways, so he's got a long explanation and he goes into much detail. I haven't even watched it all, but I think there's a lot of information I want to pick up from here. Let's see here, Fantom community alerts. If you're not following this dude, well, you're missing out on a lot of alpha, because man, he was an OG, and eventually watching his videos got me into Fantom. But he put one out in July 2021. I think this was back when there was an exploit on it, or maybe close to it, and then Harry Ye took over, who's like this billionaire dude that really helps out with the Fantom side as well. He's overseeing the project and doing a lot of developments, and then that's what really took off with the TOMB.FINANCE and where it's going. So it's kind of cool to see Austin's thoughts about it, probably during a way earlier time frame. And I bet I haven't even watched the video, but I would assume that a lot of his predictions came true. But I don't know. You let me know. In addition, a calculator guy, he's gaining up a lot of speed. Wow. I remember when he was just down way lower in subscribers, and he's bouncing. Nice, dude. So he just came out with a quick explanation. So take a look at his stuff. And also Drake on Digital talked about TOMB.FINANCE. So this has got the attention of a lot of people. If you want to go more into detail, well, guess what? You got your pick, right? So anything else I can say? Ooh, this is more on the alpha side if you stuck around for this long. So on the Discord and on the Twitter, Harry Ye, man, he dropped down a ton of alpha. Essentially, they're looking to use TOMB to be cross-blockchain. They're looking to also do an ohm fork with it, and then coming up with the token Life. It's going to be out on, let's see here, Fantom Pad, which I've never heard about, but I think they helped out with Scream, and that was it. And they got more information here. And I think that you have to have TOMB in order to participate. So, right? And then looking at the price of TOMB, I'm like, well, I don't know. Kind of looks like it could pump after once people kind of put the puzzle pieces together. Let's see. Can I go to Fantom Pad here? Take a quick look. So yeah, this is where you kind of come in. I don't know what they got going on, but let's see here. I think this is where they had their latest one, which again, I think it was only Scream, and you had to have TOMB. So right here, you can see it says, if you want a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all requires TOMB. So that backs up that claim. Haha, look at me. And what else? Man, there's just so much information here. Definitely take a look. I think it's worth your while. And then what else? Yeah. And then also there's the Twitter format of this. For example, you can go over to Chi DAO, and then you'd be able to borrow against your TOMB. Now, when I mentioned that on Twitter, people were like, why would you want to borrow against TOMB? Because then it opens yourself up to liquidation risk, etc. I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with different strategies with the TOMB side as well. But hey, it's always nice to have that option. And what else? There's probably something else in here that I'm missing. But you know what? I'll let you do that. And this is where he talks about, TOMB is Life. So man, the man was dropping down hints about Life and the ohm fork way ahead of time. And that's going to be going cross-chain. So, in conclusion, y'all ready for this? I don't think y'all ready. So TOMB.FINANCE, really big on the Fantom side. It's caught a lot of people's attention. It's a little bit overwhelming, but it's got great APR, APY. I don't know where it's going necessarily, but the fact that it's doing like cross-chain, it's going to be available on the Binance Cloud Central Exchange for Fantom, releasing soon, backed by the billionaire Harry Ye, and the community all looking at it. I think it's something to take a look at. So hopefully that helps. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Pow, 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 pow.